Good afternoon and welcome to our annual leadership training here at Ritz Carlton. Here at Ritz Carlton, we pride ourselves on being the best, and there's a reason for it, is because that we train each and every one of our leaders to exemplify our values here at Ritz Carlton, and in turn, we expect our leadership teams to translate that to their employees and their team members.
I like to start out at the beginning of each and one of these training presentations by getting back to our roots and where Ritz Carlton really started. And we can't do that without talking about Caesar Ritz, who is our founder, and really diving into what his vision of this company really was and continues to be. Um, Caesar Ritz started off with a very humble beginning. He was just a shepherd's son. But he had a vision, and his vision was to provide an overwhelming quality of service to every customer. And we can see that in every aspect of this company. And really the way that uh, he accomplished this, and we continue to accomplish it, is to display goodness in every aspect of our service and leadership across this organization. So I mentioned Caesar Ritz's vision about providing goodness to every customer that enters one of our venues. So what is goodness? So we're going to dive into that. The definition of goodness is God's benevolence towards his people. This dates back to scripture. Um, and what is benevolence? It's like a quality of well-being, kindness. And that definition should be interesting because it really describes what we do here every day. It kind of matches what we aim as hospitality, which is what we're known for. Um, Scripture dives in more and states that people do not light a lamp and put it under a bowl. Instead, they put it on a stand and it gives light to everyone in the house. So, what does that mean? It means that we expect each and every one of our employees to be that light and to exemplify goodness across the entire organization. Um, Goodness should never be hidden. We should celebrate when one of our team members exhibits goodness and service. It doesn't matter how big or how small the act of kindness is that we see one of our members exemplify. We should commend them for it. We should commend them privately. We should do it publicly and authentically. We really need to celebrate each and every one of our teammates whenever they um, show off the value that we put in our vision. And and goodness is really just this, it's a rare trait that each Ritz Carlton team member should seek to possess. And whenever we see little cues or hints of it throughout our organization, and celebrate it with your team, celebrate it across the organization. We want to promote that across the entire team. Next question is, why did we select goodness as part of our vision and one of our core values? And to do that, we should dive right back into scripture, um, where Peter says, "And let us not grow weary of doing good, for in due season we will reap, if we do not give up. So then, as we have opportunity, let us do good to everyone, and especially to those who are of the household of faith." So, how does that apply to Ritz Carlton? Well, at Ritz Carlton, it's our mission to find ways to do good for our patrons. So it's not just trying to solve problems that arise. We are actively and proactively going out looking for ways that we can do good for each and every one of our customers. We're always trying to find a way to improve the stay for our guests, regardless how difficult the task is. And I know some of these tasks can be difficult, but goodness really just shows whenever we go that extra mile to accomplish these difficult tasks for our patrons. And part of it is also motivating your team to find good ways um, to do good for each one of our guests. So I'm standing in front of you explaining what goodness is, but what I'm asking for is for you to motivate your team members to exhibit goodness across the entire organization, no matter which department or no matter which team you're running. So we talked about what goodness is, and we talked about how we expect it to be exhibited across all of our team members, but how do we ensure goodness is in every team member? And we do that quite well by how we pick our team. Here at Ritz-Carlton, we pick our team based on qualities that reflect Ritz-Carlton. Qualities such as willingness to serve, drive, optimism, and enthusiasm. Um, Other ways that we do it is we train. We train and then we apply that training. We pride ourselves here with our continuous quality training, and some of it's formal, like we're doing here, but most of it's informal. It's the day-to-day things that you as leaders are doing with your teams, instilling these qualities and our expectations to each and every one of your team members, and as a constant reminder. Um, Scripture says, for this very reason, make every effort to add to your faith goodness, and to goodness knowledge, and to knowledge self-control, to self-control perseverance, and to perseverance godliness. This is a great reminder that knowledge is a huge part of this, and the only way that we can instill this knowledge in each and every one of our team members is to train and to constantly remind ourselves what we're trying to accomplish here and how we can instill goodness in every aspect of our job. So, how do we do it? Well, it begins with I. I build relationships with guests for life. We're not just trying to make guests happy for their temporary stay. We want them to come back, and we want them to want to come back. I respond to expressed and unexpressed wishes of guests. Yeah, we want you to solve any issues that our guests have, but we also want you to look for the issues the guests didn't even know they had and to respond to those. I own and immediately resolve guest problems. I create a work environment where guest needs are met. I am proud of my behavior, appearance, and language, and I am responsible for a safe and clean environment. Let's talk about our renowned Ladies and Gentlemen Serving Ladies and Gentlemen program that we have here, where every team member is expected to be part of the solution. It doesn't matter if it's an executive, if it's a manager, if it's a housekeeper, we're all part of the team. We all can make a difference. And with that being said, any team member can resolve a customer issue. Up to the point where every single member, from housekeeper to executive, doesn't matter who or you work for or what team you work for in our organization, you need to solve the problem, and you get an expense of up to $2,000 to solve that problem immediately. We pride ourselves with solving any issues that any customer has, and we're going to go ahead and empower every single member to solve that issue, even if it costs up to $2,000. No questions asked, solve it on the spot, and we pride ourselves with that. All right, we talked about goodness. We've talked about solving solutions to customer problems, but how do we put it into practice? Well, here at Ritz-Carlton, we always put the customer first. That's the root of our vision and of our values, is that the customer comes first. Team members should always look for problems, even if the customer doesn't know it exists. I know we've harped on this a couple times, but I want our team members to be proactive and always looking for a solution to problems that we didn't even know were there. And to always find a way to be part of the solution. It's not something where a team member is like, oh, that's not my department. Let me push it to hospitality or room service or housekeeping. No, I want them to take part of that problem and part of the solution. Um, these are lifelong customers, and we want to treat them as such. Okay, the Ritz-Carlton way. What is that? It's pretty simple. Quality and luxury, with a big emphasis on quality. We always follow through. We always follow through when it comes to our guest experiences. No matter if there's a small problem or just a little way that we can make our guest experience a little bit better, we're going to follow through with it. We give it our all the time. And then we've always have, and that's why our guests come back year after year. And we provide a unique experience. So be unique. Be unique in the solutions that you find to your guest services, your guest problems. Be unique in yourself because we selected you because you were. And our guests expect luxury, and we always deliver that. I don't care what it takes. We want this experience to be a luxurious and quality experience for them. And that's why we've become the great organization that we are. It's because we've always delivered. All right, we're wrapping up. Um, just remember, bring goodness to your team, and remember that Christ taught us what goodness is truly like. He's the prime example, the perfect example. We'll never meet up to his level of goodness, but we can aspire to embed goodness in every aspect of the Ritz-Carlton way. Provide that quality. Always trying to find a way to make things better for our guests. Show goodness to your team. Be the example they need. That means that you have to exemplify goodness in each and every one of your teams by example. And the most important thing is show every guest goodness and make their stay with us the most memorable stay of their lives every time they stay with us, because we expect them to come back. Because once you embody that value of goodness and exemplify it across our organization, they're going to want to come back, and they have come back. And we want to continue to provide that same quality of service. I want to end with this verse. I remain confident of this. I will see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. And I expect us to see it here at Ritz Carlton.